Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been out for a little over a week and the game is fantastic. I've been streaming the game here on YouTube every day at 2 PM UK time, so come along if you want some fun gameplay. Now, a few months ago we had quite a number of leaks appear on social media about future killers and victims. We do have a new killer by the name of Nancy, who is supposedly Johnny's auntie, and we also have a new victim called Danny. Their bios have also been leaked, which we will get into shortly. There is also a new kill for each of the family, and Nancy's map is supposedly called Junkyard, to which we have a still of it here, thanks to Mr. Kev217X on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So with that out of the way, let's get into these brand new characters. Starting off, we will look at Nancy, the new family member, who looks like everybody's favourite aunt. Nancy will more than likely appear within the next 2 updates to the game, as the first update will more than likely be about bugs, balancing gameplay out, and maybe adding in a new kill for each family member. When Nancy was leaked way back in late May, early June, her bio was also leaked. This is the bio we have for her. Although Nancy may appear sweet and innocent, she's quite possibly the most vicious and vile member of the Slaughter family. She's an expert at using her friendly looks to lure victims into situations they can't escape. She's been married 4 times, but each husband has died from mysterious causes. One husband just simply disappeared. Locals avoid her property at all costs. They call her Black Nancy, as death and despair seem to surround her. She's also Johnny's aunt, or so she says. The truth is much darker. Nancy murdered Johnny's mother when he was a toddler, stealing the child and raising him as her own, finally fulfilling the empty void her husbands couldn't. She turned him into a ruthless killer. Nancy's spy ability allows her to sense the approximate location of a single victim. As she concentrates on sound around her, she can create a mental image of where that victim might be. It's almost as if she can see through their eyes for a short period of time. This extreme level of concentration does take a mental toll on Nancy, stunning her for a few seconds afterwards, so be mindful when and where you use this ability. However, Nancy can use Sissy's wildflower powder to help her recover more quickly. Call it a family recipe if you will. Nancy can also place homemade strings of barbed wire across gaps and doorways. These coils are razor sharp and have chains wrapped around them. While her traps aren't strong enough to stop victims in their tracks, the chains do act as noisemakers, making it very difficult for victims to run and hide. Combine that with the physical damage inflicted by the wires, and you have quite the sadistic tool at your disposal. Thankfully, like the hitchhiker, Nancy can recover her traps and place them elsewhere if needed. But be careful, the family can accidentally set off the barbed wire traps, so make sure you communicate with the rest of your team. When it comes to attacks, Nancy's brutal nature comes out quickly. The metal claws on her gardening hoe can easily rip victims to shreds, while the reverse flat end can cause serious blunt force trauma. A successful hit will cause victims to temporarily bleed out, allowing Nancy to collect blood more easily from them. She even has a higher blood vial capacity than the rest of the family. Never judge a book by its cover. Nancy is living proof of that. So that just makes her sound absolutely delightful. And the fact that she killed Johnny's mother and took him to raise as her own, that's creepy beyond anything. We also got 2 videos of her here, which shows how she walks around and stalks like Johnny. And this video by here showcases her trap and also her kill technique, which is just absolutely brutal. Nancy seems like she may be taking the title of Best Killer away from Sissy, but from these leaks alone, we will need to see how Nancy performs when she is released. Now, Danny, the brand new victim. This is his bio. Danny's a tough kid from an ever tougher neighborhood. He didn't have the easiest life, but he's a loyal companion to Maria and will do anything to find her. With Maria as well, just clarifying this, by the looks of things, we will actually see Maria's body hanging in a place in the junkyard, which is Nancy's new map. Because of his upbringing, people often underestimate his intelligence. Like Connie, he's crafty and has a knack for quickly fixing things with very little help. Danny's ingenuity allows him to quickly examine and study environmental objects. This will increase his overall knowledge of those items and help him better understand how they work. But this takes time, and if Danny is interrupted during the process, he'll have to start all over again. Danny can study multiple objects in the environment, such as generators, the cattle grids, cables, TVs, radios, lamps, valve pipes, pressure valve tanks, gates, fuse boards, fuse boxes, and the mechanical doors. Once an object is studied, Danny can use that information to tamper with any of the key objects linked to escape exits, therefore unlocking it for good. This means Danny can tamper with and permanently open or activate fuse boxes, the valve tanks, the generators. This will keep the family from undoing your team's hard work, which you can currently do, as with the valve you can turn it off. In addition, the more Danny uses his ability, the better it will become, unlocking new benefits and possibilities along the way. Caught in the Slaughter family's basement, Danny will need every ounce of his determination and quick thinking to save himself and his friends from an agonizing death. So it does look like that Danny will be the brains of the victims, as he can study these objects in the maps and will be able to work on them and turn them on or off quicker than the other victims. I do like that aspect as well, because you've studied the object, you tamper it, and it's open for good. Now, to end this video, we do have some new bloody variants for the family members, again coming from Mr. Kev217 on Twitter. These skins look so much better as well than the ones we currently have, to which I do think it's the darkness of the red that they've used. It just shimmers better in the moonlight and sunlight. We also have a brand new Leatherface skin as well, designed by the one and only legend, Greg Nicotero of KMBFX. So fingers crossed we get some more skins for the other family members. Maybe we get the Nubbins outfit from TCM2 for the Hitchhiker. Even though it's the second film, and Gun Media have said they only have the license for the first, it would just be adding a jacket to the Hitchhiker and maybe a Polaroid camera. So fingers crossed. That's all we got for this first round of leaks for TCM. Keep up the screaming, folks, and I'll see you in the basement.